What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome to the LGS. We are back, not necessarily in full swing. There aren't a massive amount of questions, but that's okay because my voice still is a little bit dodgy. It's been 5 weeks today as you're watching this. 5 weeks today since I first had a cold or flu or whatever it is, and my voice still hasn't recovered properly, which is such a pain in the tits because obviously my job's to speak, right? So you'll have noticed a lot through videos that I struggle, and in fact I very rarely, when I do a player review, right, sit down, press record, and I just commentate the whole thing in one go. I don't commentate each clip individually or commentate the stats, then the clips, then the verdict. I just go, and my voice already, and what are we, like 2 minutes into this, and already my voice is cutting out on me. It's a pain in the tits. I have to, the amount of times I have to stop during one review is ridiculous. Regardless of how annoying this is going to be to listen to, I'm going to do it because I feel not doing it would be a cop-out. It doesn't hurt, it's just frustrating. It's like trying to speak and I just can't do it. I have this thing as well, where if I do, like, you know, that little cough I just did then, if I, like, just basically just trying to clear my throat, if I do that over and over again to really try and clear my throat, I get hiccups, and it always happens. I can get hiccups, get rid of them, do that little cough again, and it'll just come back. So I have to try and not do it. That's the only way I ever get hiccups. I'm weird, I know, but yeah. So we are going to go through, I did a mini LGS update thing, just so that for people who kept asking about FIFA Mobile could just stop asking about it, really. I got through that, and I got through a few other things as well. And I said, people ask questions on this as well as the last LGS, and then when I do the next LGS, I'll talk about all of them. I looked at the questions, there aren't really anything. There's one, like, will you ever do a career mode on FIFA 17? The answer to that is no. Like, I'm all about, you know, entertainment and things, but I am... Okay, and wait, let me start that again. I'm all for entertainment, but I am kind of all about that viewership, you know, like I need the views to sustain a living, okay? And the views lately have been insane, and the way that they've been insane is just by player reviews and squad builders, and you know, that's it. So that is going to be what I'm going to continue to do. I am going to introduce a series very, very soon. I'm just trying to get my, I'm holding out for my voice to improve so that I can just commentate things all the way through. Having to stop, cough my lungs out for 2 minutes, like just try and clear my throat and everything like that. It takes about 20 minutes between each take because I just can't. Every time I try to speak, it's just like, and it just pisses me off. So each video, instead of taking 5 minutes to commentate, takes like 25-30 minutes to commentate. So if I'm commentating a 10-minute video, you can imagine it's going to take me nearly an hour to do it, and I just don't have the time to do that. So I'm hoping my voice will improve over the next couple of days. I'm still taking some like throat lozenge things and Beecham's shit and all that crap to try and get rid of the last of it, but it's just so frustrating. 5 weeks, unbelievable. That's why, right? I am such a I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm so cautious when it comes to colds. If someone sneezes in my house, I will, you know, I'll go into full this, not to sound racist, but full Asian mode. You know, when you walk through, I'd say you walk through Japan as if I've ever done that, but like you see people on the news and stuff, Japanese, Koreans, everything like that, they all have like masks on. And people will get a misconception about that. They don't do that because they don't want to catch it. They do that because they have a cold and they don't want to give it to other people. They are the most considerate race of people ever. People always think, oh, you know, how rude is that she's walking around with that on her face? Well, she's actually trying to protect you from getting the cold, dumbass. So, you know, the more you know. But anyway, I go into that mode, you know, I cover myself up. I take cold and flu tablets, even when I don't have a cold, just because I'm around people who do have colds, so that they can stop the cold from happening before it happens. Maybe, you know, it sounds to you like maybe I take it too far, but to be fair, it's helped me for about 5-6 years, and this is the first cold I've had in that length of time. So a lot of people will be saying, that's the reason why you've had a cold and this lasted so long, because your immune system's shit. My immune system probably is quite bad, but I would rather have a cold the last 5 weeks once every 5-6 years than have a cold 2 or 3 times a year, because I won't be able to handle that. I need to be able to speak for my job, and it was a nightmare. But anyway, let's move on from that. If I have to take a drink, well, which is something I normally do anyway, but if I have to stop and cough, I'm just going to leave it in there. Because I'm struggling already. With 5 minutes in and I can feel my throat's so dry. The first question isn't actually a question. It is, can you do a player review on Man of the Match 4? Love your review videos. Already done it. Go check it out. That comment was, to be fair, 3 weeks ago. So, yeah. The other one I started talking about actually was the career mode. I'm all about the views necessarily. So, I am going to start a series soon. It is going to be a 1-and-up, and it is going to be with, drumroll please, if you pause this, if you don't, wait, no, don't pause it because you have to listen to it anyway. Mute it if you don't want to hear who it is. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Inform Aidan McGeady. Come back. So it's going to be Inform Aidan McGeady, where it all started. McGeady's 1-and-up is coming back very soon. I wanted to start it weekend just gone. I say just gone, last weekend. But unfortunately, hang on, whoa. Turn this bad boy around. I wanted to start it weekend just gone, but my voice just wasn't able to, I couldn't cope with it. And upgrades came out, and I was so busy with those videos that it was crazy. My channel went absolutely ballistic over the 24th and 25th of February. The amount of videos that I had that were banging. But for me, a banging video is like 5,000 views, right? So I had about 8 videos over the space of 2 or 3 days that were smashing 5,000-6,000 views, and I couldn't get over it. I could not believe it. Every single review I was uploading, people were loving. I was getting shit tons of likes on them. The views were just going up and up and up. And the channel actually got to a point where over that 48-hour period, if those views had continued for the entire month, I would have been on like 1.1 million views for the month, which for someone who, 8 months ago, or through the month of August and beginning of September, was sort of touching 40,000 views, that is pretty impressive. 40,000 views over a month period, I might add. I've got some dust there, I need to get rid of that. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with myself. And obviously it's not all down to me, it is all down to you guys watching it and everything like that. I don't know if this song was on you. I have headphones in, as you can see, or on, and I have the game sound coming through them, through this beautiful wire here. So if you might not be able to hear it as loud as I can, but I thought, why not, right? I don't know whether I'm thinking of changing the colour from matte black to, obviously I changed the whole thing. I won't just do like the top half of the car. I don't like that kind of thing. But I want it all black. I just maybe want like a different different type of black. Oh my god, classic black. It's glossy. I think it'll get scratched up. You're not going to notice, I know, but chrome? Nah, I don't like chrome. Either do I do metallic? Let's do metallic black. Secondary color, metallic black. There you go. Let's get that done. I like the matte black, but now and again, just time for a change. Can we get the roof changed? Painted roof. Yeah, I kind of want it all. Yeah, I kind of want it all one color. What do the plates actually look like? No, I like that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. So yeah, that's cool. Let's get out. So pick any West Ham player to move to Liverpool. That's a weird one. I don't know the West Ham team inside out. Obviously, looking at the Liverpool team and the players that we need to improve the side, defenders and maybe a world-class keeper is probably where we need to be at. So I don't know how good Winston Reid actually is in real life. I quite like this car now. Looks a little bit better, maybe, just for the time being. I might switch it back in at one point, but I just fancied a little bit of a change. I know it's only a little change, but still. I don't know who I'd pick. Maybe someone like Kiate or Obiang or something like that, like a CDM type player. But ultimately, I don't know if I'd pick anyone from West Ham. No disrespect to West Ham, but I don't really see any of their players maybe defensive side of things, but I don't really see many of their players get into the Liverpool team, despite the fact that Liverpool at the moment are on a very bad run. And that's one thing I want to touch upon, actually, while we're on the subject of Liverpool. Someone may ask me the question later on, but since this is 3 weeks ago, Liverpool's run 3 weeks ago wasn't as bad as what it is now. Jurgen Klopp needs to go. No, I'm joking. I hate the people who say, "Oh, Jurgen Klopp's walking a thin line." He's had 6 results that haven't really gone his way. Okay, granted, he's got knocked out of 2 trophies, and he's had a bad slump in the league, and we're down to 5th or 6th or something. But come on, I mean, you can't sack a manager or criticise his ability based on 6 or 7 games. What's wrong with you? What is football today? Leicester sacked Ranieri despite the fact that he won the league with them the previous season. He took over. He kept them up spectacularly. As far as no, did he? Yeah, I think he did. And then he won the league with them the next year. I don't think he did he? I think what happened was it Pearson? Nigel Pearson? He kept them up. Then they sacked him for no good reason. And then Ranieri took over, and then he won the league with them. Yeah, then that's what happened. But I mean, you can't sack a manager for, by the way, keeping you in the Champions League, getting an away goal against Sevilla, which in itself is remarkable. The fact that they still had a chance, or still, at the moment I think, still have a chance, going into that second leg with Sevilla. Ranieri in charge. Okay, he's not doing a great job in the league, but you know what Ranieri was doing? Ranieri was not really focusing too much on the league. He was trying to put everything he could into the Champions League, which you can understand why, because he's already won the league with Leicester, right? They win the league again. Yeah, don't get me wrong, that's a remarkable achievement. But he wants the Champions League. He wants to go as far as he possibly can in the Champions League. And I wouldn't put it past the Leicester board to have said to him, your main focus is the Champions League. We have already won the league. We've got as much money as we can out of the Premier League for that reason. We now want you to go after the Champions League. We want European success. Okay, don't get me wrong. We don't think you're going to win the Champions League. But if you can get to, say, the last round of 16, the quarters, even the semis, we're going to get shit tons of money. Your profile as a manager is going to go through the roof. The club's profile around the world is going to go through the roof. We're going to get a lot of money out of this. That was the board's That was the board's sort of idea. That's what they wanted. Oh, you that's it. You fucking. It was all your fault. No, get in the car. Get in the car. Come on, get in the car. That's what the board have done. That's what the chairman wanted. That's what everyone wanted. Ranieri went out and tried to set himself up for it and got sacked because he tried to do what the board told him to do. I don't know the ins and outs of it. It might be something more to it than that. But ultimately, that, to me, is what it probably was. And a lot of people saying that the players weren't playing for Ranieri as well, which I haven't actually watched an awful lot of Leicester this year to know. Okay, well, this guy's gone. To know whether that was the case. But I know against Liverpool, they just turned up like they did last year. And everyone was like, oh, well, Ranieri gets sacked and now the players decide to play. But I mean, football has gone crazy. To go back to my original point, to say that Jurgen Klopp's job is in danger is fucking ludicrous. I mean, honestly, if they sack him before the summer, even if, honestly, as a Liverpool fan myself, even if he lost every game between now and the end of the season and we ended up finishing 10th, 11th, whatever, I still wouldn't want him sacked because he's playing Lucas Leiva as a centre-back. He doesn't have the options that he would have if he went and bought his own players. He's had a very limited time with the club. He's had a very limited time to bring in his own team. You can't go out at the start of the season, your first season in charge. You can't go out and say, right, I'm going to sell 12 players and I'm going to buy 14 players and we're going to go and, get Champions League football and win the league and whatever. You can't do that because you need time for the team to gel together. Chelsea's first ever season with Roman Abramovich in charge. I don't know what they finished, but everyone thought that they were going to win the league instantly. Didn't work. They went out and bought shit tons of players. They spent so much money, and I think they finished like 5th, right? Whereas that's like 2 positions higher than what they were used to finishing before Abramovich took over. And the reason being is because the players had never played with each other before. So they weren't really used to how they, the workings and everything. Toward the end of the season you could see that they were getting better, but still it wasn't until like the 2nd or 3rd season that really they came into their own, because obviously they'd had time to play with each other. And that's the case. Klopp needs summer, at least. I mean, I would give him all of next season. If by the January window we're not in top 4 looking decent, then yeah, okay, then it's time to look and reassess the situation. I just don't understand this. Oh, you've had 4 games, you haven't won yet. Right, okay, that's it, kick him out. Do you know, what the fuck are you talking about? Football back when, in the 90s was so much more forgiving. You had players like, or managers like Kevin Keegan and things for Newcastle, who went on spectacularly bad runs and still kept their job and turned it around and ended up winning the league or finishing 2nd in the league. It's just, football these days absolutely baffles me. I know it's a numbers game and it's a money game, but Jesus, if you don't give managers time, you're never going to get anywhere as a club. I mean, Leicester and Apps have literally ruined themselves. They are ruined now. They have no chance of doing anything decent as far as I'm concerned. From getting rid of Ranieri, they've lost the support of the neutral, which they had up until Ranieri's sacking. They've lost a lot of respect, and they won't find a manager who knew the players as well as Ranieri and who knew what he was doing as well as Ranieri. So I'm going to stop talking about it now, because I could talk about it all day, but it pissed me off when they sacked him. And people talking about Klopp going, and even Mourinho. In Mourinho's first few games, he didn't do very well, and everyone was like, oh, I just want him sacked now. He's shit. He's not as good as people thought he was. He's had like 5 games in charge with a team that he doesn't know, and he's went out and bought Ibra and Pogba. Now, don't get me wrong, right? Ibra and Pogba are insane players. Okay, Pogba I don't really rate that highly, but Ibra himself is phenomenal. But 2 players don't make a team, You still have to sort out your defence and, for the most part, your midfield. And Ibra, okay, despite the fact that he's world class, he can't keep it going up front by himself the entire season at his age. So, of course he's not going to win every single game. It doesn't mean Mourinho's a bad manager. It means he needs another season with another transfer window. People just blow my mind, honestly. Let's move on. Oh my god. Favourite championship player in real life and in FIFA. Now, in FIFA, let's talk about that first because it's easier. In FIFA, probably in-form Dwight Gale, or in-form Aidan McGeady, or in-form Helder Costa. No, not in-form, man of the match Helder Costa from Wolves. Those have probably been my 3 favourite players. Probably the in-form Dwight Gale, though. The in-form Dwight Gale is very sexy. This is really getting to me. I can't. That was sick, I know, but needs to be done. And this is why. This is why there's been no LGS. Because, I mean, this is the best it's been. To be fair, I've lasted nearly 20 minutes. I'm actually very surprised myself. But, yeah, we're not doing very well. As far as favourite championship player in real life is concerned, I don't watch any championship football. I watch the odd highlight. I very rarely watch Match of the Day. What I used to do, I know you're all saying, hang on a minute, Match of the Day, what's he on about? Championship games aren't on Match of the Day. Wait. I used to watch Match of the Day. And after Match of the Day, obviously, they have the league show, which is the Championship, League 1, League 2, all the goals from there. But I don't watch Match of the Day anymore because Twitter is so up to date. As soon as someone scores, all you have to do is click on, type in the team name, and you have 5 or 6 accounts who are just showing you the goals. So I watch all the Liverpool games, and then I just look at the goals that the other teams have scored. I don't need to see extended highlights of Man United against West Ham. All I want to know is, what was Ibra's goal like? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me how well West Ham played in that game, and so on and so forth. I do look at stats and form and stuff because I have to for Team of the Week predictions. So I generally know how people play, and I know how well certain teams are playing and things like that. Especially in the Championship, I'm up to date with the Championship. I generally know where every team is positioned. but I don't actually watch it, so I can't say that I have a favourite player in the Championship in real life. If I'm going to just give you a name for the sake of giving you a name, John Joe Shelby, because it's John Joe Shelby, you know? Overshot it a bit. If I was in this car in real life now, I'd be shitting my knickers. Would have blown up and buckled everything. But, you know, it's fine. Have you seen Stranger Things? No. I don't really have a desire to watch it. I've not seen... I think I've seen a trailer once. Like, when it first came out, I think I saw the trailer. I read the synopsis, and it just didn't tickle my pickle at all. I read it, and I was like, meh, I don't really care. So I don't know if I'll ever watch it. I am actually a massive fan of I'm a massive fan of the girl that I can't remember the name of. What's her name? Is it Anne Hathaway? Or was it the other one that I always get Anne Hathaway and someone else mixed up. Who is the actress in the Stranger Things? Really? The Stranger Things, IMDb, the cast. Who is the main actress? Is it? It's not. It's Winona Ryder. I always get Anne Hathaway and Winona Ryder mixed up, and I don't even know why, because I don't even think they look like each other. Anne Hathaway. What does Anne Hathaway look like? They do kind of look like each other. Okay, not so much anymore, because Anne Hathaway has got much shorter hair these days, but I mean, I would... Yeah, I think they look like each other. Or they used to, at least. I always get them mixed up. But yeah, no, I like Winona Ryder, but I've got no desire to watch it ever. Something that I watched recently, a new series on Netflix, was was it the Santa Clarita Diet or something like that? Basically, if you haven't seen it, is the first episode for me was shit. I didn't like the first episode at all. The acting, Drew Barrymore's acting in the entire series, as far as I'm concerned, is not good. Not that I've never been a massive fan of her. I don't hate her or dislike her, but it just wasn't good for me. I think she was the worst actress or actor in general in that show. She just wasn't convincing. I still enjoyed it though, and I probably wouldn't have cast anyone else instead of her, having watched the whole thing. I think her bad acting came through well in the end. It's really weird. You'd have to watch it to understand what I'm on about. But it's basically about a mother who contracts a virus. She dies essentially, and she becomes a zombie. But she's like, have you ever seen iZombie? It's more or less a rip-off of iZombie, but they try and make it a lot more comedic, and it's she's just a normal person. So she turns into a zombie. No spoilers. She turns into a zombie, but she's not like walking around brainlessly trying to kill people. She doesn't know what's happened initially, and then in the end, obviously, she starts killing people and eating people, and then her husband gets involved and her daughter gets involved, and it's decent. As much as in the first episode I watched it and I was like, I'm not a massive fan of this, I kept watching it, and in the end I was like, you know what, I actually can't wait for season 2 now. It was pretty decent. So I watched that recently. That had nothing to do with your question, but just letting you know, that's what I watched. That's the most recent series, like new series I've seen. There's loads of things that I want to watch, but I just don't get around to doing it. Never mind. Next question. Transfer window winners and losers. I don't think many people in January had a winning transfer window. I don't really think anyone signed anyone like crucial, did they? To my knowledge. Maybe someone did and I didn't, and I don't realise it. I don't really remember who signed who in January. Seems like ages ago, even though it was only like 2 months ago, or less than that. I'm really, really struggling at the moment. Really struggling. I've got to do videos later on today as well, so I don't think this is a good idea. If you trained from a young age to be a professional footballer, would you have made it, and to what league? Yeah, I'd be playing for Arsenal right now. Women's reserve team. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I didn't train like extensively, and I didn't go under the guidance of Bruce Grobbler or anything. But I played football nearly every day from the age of, I would say, 8 or 9 to 17, 18. Pretty much every single day I would have kicked a football. However, I'm not saying that I went from being fucking some non-league footballer to a Premier League footballer overnight, but I was in school, in primary school, from the ages of about 5 or 6 to the ages of about 8 or 9, maybe even actually 10, maybe even 10. I was one of the worst football players ever. I was useless. I couldn't dribble. I couldn't kick a ball properly. I would just swing my leg at it. I was what was called a goal hanger because I was so bad. In school, obviously, we had the goalkeeper was decent, to be fair, and then we had a couple of other players that were decent, and then there was me. And we always used to play Year 5 against Year 6. So I remember being in Year 6, and I was dreadful. One of the worst football players you've ever seen in your life. But I always used to get the odd goal, but I would always just stay by the opposition goal. I would just hang by the post. Ball comes my way, just literally swing my leg at it, and it would be the most useless swing of a leg you've ever seen in your life. My God. Yeah. But something happened. Don't know what it was. Something happened over the course of the summer between Year 6 and Year 7. I don't remember that summer necessarily. I must have played my ass off football-wise, because when I went into Year 7, and it didn't even enter my head at the time, I was nothing, absolutely nothing like I was in Year 6. I was so much better, more competent on the ball. In fact, I was competent on the ball. I couldn't even dribble before, honestly. I was shit. So I was actually really, looking back, I don't know what I did, but I was so much better. I used to play for Cumbrae Celtic, who were actually in the Welsh second tier of Welsh football, I think. Don't really keep up to date with it. Maybe I should. I don't know. Yeah, I used to play for them, and I was their best player, but I was still terrible. Like, we were awful. We were constantly like we weren't bottom of the league. We were bottom but 3 always. There was Court Farm and I want to say Pennagan, something like that. They were always worse than us. I mean, I was saying something because we were dreadful. We used to put 6 past Court Farm, and we were shocking. So, God knows what they had. They probably had, like, fucking people with no legs on the field or something. I don't remember. I knew they used to have orange kits, and that's all I remember. But I remember scoring, like, 3 or 4 goals in those games. And, like, I was bad. So, yeah, but I left them in Year 6 going into Year 7, and then when I went into Year 7, I was like Pele. I don't know what happened. Not saying I was good, but I mean I was so much better than what I was. But had I trained from a young age, I would love to have, had a mentality at the age of like 4 or 5 of, if I do this enough, I will be good enough to be able to play for a professional football team. I would not have got into League 2. I would not even got into the conference. But if I could have just played in the Welsh League for Carmarthen or something like that as a keeper or as a centre mid or right mid or something, that would have been amazing, and I would have been more than happy just playing in the Welsh League, earning a couple £100 a week. Would have been amazing. I don't think they even earn that much, to be honest. From the Marvel Universe, who is your favourite superhero? I hate Marvel, DC, and all that bollocks. Can't stand stupid heroes? Yeah, why not? Can't stand superheroes with a passion. If I had to, with a gun to my head, pick my favourite Marvel character, it would probably be Deadpool, assuming Deadpool is indeed Marvel and not DC, because I don't understand the difference. Then, yeah, it would probably be Deadpool. If I had to pick my favourite character from DC, assuming I've got this right, Harley Quinn is from DC, because I know Batman is DC. So Harley Quinn, if that's her name. Is that her name? It's got to be a name. Harley Quinn? The crazy woman that is Joker's girlfriend. She, in Suicide Squad, that I was made to watch, by the way, I thought it was a pretty shit film, but she was probably the best character in the entire thing. So yeah, probably there you go. Favorite non-fizzy drink? I would drive around, by the way, but I know I'm going to constantly need to keep sipping this. I can't even. Worst episode of the LGS ever, I know, but a lot of people have been complaining, and by a lot I mean 2 people have been complaining that I haven't done an LGS, but so that's why I'm here. But favourite non-fizzy drink? Probably a J2O, something like the what's the orange J2O? Is it like orange and passion fruit? I think it's something like that. Probably that, to be honest. I can't think of anything else. Ooh, no, iced tea. Fuck it, yeah, iced tea. With lemon or without lemon. No peach. You keep peach away from me. I hate peach with a passion. You put peach in anything, you've ruined it. Even a peach cobbler, ruined it. Gone, done. No thanks. I don't have a question for you. Thanks, Wheezy. I just wanted to say thanks for continuing the LGS and thanks for being a YouTuber. I never get tired of watching. Thank you very much, Wheezing. I appreciate that. I do get worried, honestly, that my core audience that were with me before I started spamming the shit out of player reviews are going to go off or have already gone off me. Which, okay, in the grand scheme of getting views and making money, isn't like... That's not bad. I'm still going to make money and get views. But as far as a moral obligation to entertain the people who have kept me going over the last few years, do you fucking shut your fuck up? Or I feel guilty for not producing a series and just for rinsing player reviews. But I mean, ultimately, I've tried 90% of things on YouTube, and like not 90%. Okay, I've tried 90% of things on YouTube to do with FIFA. And very little has worked in my favour. So when I discovered player reviews and the fact that they get views and people actually enjoy watching them, I decided it's time to be a little bit selfish here, and I'm running with it. And that's honestly, that is my mentality when it comes to player reviews. I enjoy doing them. I love playing with different players. I love looking at cards and going, oh, he actually would be decent. And instead of being a non-reviewer and just a standard FIFA player or someone who does a series and career mode and stuff, looking at a player like you watching this now, you who play FIFA, you'll look at a player and go, oh, he's got decent stats, but I'll never be able to fit him into my team, and you won't try him. Me, I don't have that problem because I build teams specifically to put players like that into, because I'm reviewing them. So whereas you would like the look of a certain player but would never use him because you're never going to fit him in your team, or you would get a player, enjoy him, but then go, well, he doesn't really fit into my team, so I'm going to have to sell him. I don't have that problem ever because I play to review, right? Oh, fuck. So I get to play with nearly every single inform that comes out, bar the ones that cost like 1 point whatever million. And I really, really enjoy myself. So, yes, I enjoy what I do, but I also do it because I know it gets views. So I do feel guilty that if you're one of the ones that watch the LGS and you don't really watch any of my other videos anymore because I don't do what you used to like. You know, I used to do a lot of 1-and-ups and the database, and we had a Road to Glory, career modes and things like that. Always used to do those, but they never got anywhere. Back in the early stages when there wasn't much competition on YouTube, for FIFA YouTubers in particular, and I gained like 10,000 subscribers in a couple of weeks or couple of months, that was through the 1-and-up, through the Road to Glory, through the Road to 1 million and things like that. And a lot of people are still around and still remember those series, and if you are still one of those people, then you're insane for still being here. And I like I said, I do feel guilty for not continuing those type of series, but ultimately I have to do what brings in the money, and I'm going to try my best to... I have a plan. I haven't written it down, but I've got a plan in mind that I am executing right now, and I've actually I'm way ahead of schedule on my plan. I might as well tell you what it is. So people would think, oh, your plan is to get to a certain amount of subscribers. Subscribers are nice, but they don't actually mean anything, really. I mean, it gives me an indication as to how many people want to get updates on my videos and are happy with my content and to see more of it. That's the only thing it does, though. It's kind of like a like bar. The likes on videos don't really do anything, bar give the creator an indication as to how well his video is doing. So when people say, smack the like button, or if you could hit a like, it does help me out a lot, it doesn't really help them out a lot. It just sort of gives them an ego boost, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, if you get, hundreds and hundreds, it will go a long way in helping you in the search rankings, But ultimately, I tried to spin past that and land, and it kind of worked. But ultimately, all it is an ego boost. Unless you get in like a few thousand likes into the high hundreds, it doesn't make a difference. So I mean, doesn't mean you don't have to like my video. It'd be very much appreciated if you could like this and every video that I ever upload. But it doesn't make a difference if you don't like it. Oh dear, I just swallowed a lot of. Never mind. So not semen. Calm down, you kinky bastard. So yeah, what was I saying? My goal. So at the start of the year, start of January 2017, I set myself a little goal, and the goal, I smashed that goal. In fact, well, you guys and I did smash that goal very early on, very early on. In fact, it was like 2 weeks into January I'd already done it, and that was to get 500,000 views in for a month, and to consistently, keep it there. Like I said, I did that in the first 2 weeks. I was already getting 500,000 views a month, which was phenomenal. I mean, looking back, that's phenomenal. To get that amount of views, insane. But now I have 700,000+ a month, and that's insane. If I drop down to 500 now, I'd be disappointed. So the next goal would be to get 1 million. But that aside, my plan was to continue doing the reviews as much as I can, and as many as I can, money and time allowing, to get my views to the level that I'm happy with. Once my views are at the level that I'm happy with, and I can sustain doing maybe 3 reviews a day, where possible, I would then introduce a series into the mix. The 1 and Up, for instance. I got to that point 2 weeks ago where I was happy to be able to do 3 player reviews a day and introduce a series maybe every other day or something like that. The main problem on my channel right now, behind the scenes, that a lot of people don't talk about, is watch time. My watch time on videos is dreadful. It's below 2 minutes average watch time, which is awful. Which means that I don't get as much money as what you think I get. If, like, for someone who gets 500,000 views a month, you think, oh, he's on a decent amount of money then. Well, I would be if my watch time was double what it is now. So the only few ways that I have by doing play reviews really to increase my watch time is to either introduce something different into the review, which at the moment I'm struggling to think of something that I can do, because I mean I could probably introduce something. I could make the reviews longer with more gameplay, but ultimately I don't have the time to do it because I do so many of them. It is fucking windy, man. Turbulence is insane. I don't have enough time to be able to introduce something. That landing though, be my baby, eat your heart out. Wait, it's not being. I've still got the police after me. I probably shouldn't land yet. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, I can't introduce anything new to reviews to make it 1 minute longer or 2 minutes longer or anything, because that means I'd have to do it for every review, and that would extend the time that I needed to do on every single review, and I just don't have time to do that because I do so many reviews. It's basically what I'm getting at. A lot of you probably don't care about this, but the LGS is just like a vent idea bouncy ball thing, so that's what we're doing. So I need to up my watch time on the channel and on individual videos. Still thinking of a way I can do it on play reviews. If you have an idea of something I can introduce into play reviews that wouldn't add too much time into editing or recording, that would be awesome. Maybe, something to get people to want to watch it longer. So in the beginning, people will watch it to find out what player I'm reviewing, and what version of him and my initial thoughts and things. Then people might watch the clips because they enjoy watching goals or whatever, and then they look at the first couple of seconds of what I give them as a verdict, and then they click off. 30% of people who watch my videos watch the whole thing. The other 70% watch the first 2 minutes max, and they fuck off. I can kind of understand it. People's attention span these days is nothing compared to what it was, so I can more than understand it. But something like a series where you kind of need to watch the whole thing to keep up with it. So if you are even remotely interested in what's going on, you need to watch every episode, or you need to watch a lot of every episode. So if I can make a series 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long each episode, people are going to want to watch at least half of it, which is 5-6 minutes, which ups my watch time, which gets me more money. That's how I can be. Well, that's basically what I want to do. So That's the plan, to introduce a series, to up the watch time, and then try and find a way to up the watch time on the reviews. Not something that's going to be easy to do with reviews, but something I'm going to try and do. And my ultimate goal now for the end of the year, I know full well going through June, July and August is going to be a massive piss take, and I'm going to struggle big time with views, because FIFA's going to die off, because there's no football in real life to keep people interested in football. And what can FIFA really introduce that people are going to be, excited to watch or excited to keep playing it? I'm going to struggle, but my ultimate goal by the end of the year is to have, by December, to have 1 million views concurrently every single month, and to have a watch time of about 2.5 minutes. That's all I want. I say all I want, but I'm more than halfway there, really. So, thanks to you guys for continuing support, and I'm going to try and get a series done. FIFA 18, I've already mentioned this in the previous LGS. Oh yeah. But I want to get a Road to Glory started right from the get-go. Wasn't financially viable for me to do it this year. I'm on PC, so I can't get 2 accounts on the go because I have to buy the game twice. So I couldn't afford to do that, and I just... Road to Glory, to me, I've been doing one every single year and they never work for me, so I thought this year I'll try something different. Little did I know that this year was the year of the Road to Glory, and that's all people want to watch. So, I've missed the boat there, but hopefully next year people will still want to watch it and I can still take advantage of it. If not, I'm going to do it anyway, because I actually would have loved to have done a Road to Glory from scratch, spending no points this year, but maybe next year, maybe FIFA 18. And hopefully they introduce something better, and maybe more divisions into foot champs and things like that. And what I mean by that is more degrees of foot champs, like maybe an all silver and bronze foot champs, or maybe a higher tier and a lower tier foot champs, just whatever, various different things. Let's move on to something people might actually want to listen to. Pick any Manchester United player to move to Liverpool. It would either be David De Gea or Chris Smalling, to be honest. Don't get me wrong, I'd love Ibra, but we need to fix our defence and our goalkeeper more than we need to fix our attack. We can score goals. We've scored like one of the highest goal-scoring tallies in the league. Okay, not in recent weeks, but overall we've scored more goals than Man United have, but they've conceded far less than we have. We need to improve our defence and goalkeeper. Goalkeeper arguably isn't that bad, but if we could improve our defence, I'd be happy. But De Gea has saved Man United so many points that if we could get De Gea in there, and Matip is fit, and maybe we could just stick someone like Lovren next to him for the time being, we'd be okay. But we need to improve our defence. So yeah, I'd probably take De Gea or Smalling. Your channel's actually doing really well at the moment. It is. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. It is doing insanely well. We are very close, actually, to 40,000 subscribers, which a year ago, no chance. Absolutely no chance. This time last year, I was on the verge of... I say on the verge. It was a matter of weeks, days even, away from having to get a job and forget about YouTube altogether. Honestly, and I've said it before, and I'll say it every time. I was that close. And Team of the Season last year saved me. Like, it really did. In fact, this time last year, and I remember it going into March, Twitch donations were almost non-existent then. I was not almost non-existent, but like Twitch donations had slowed right down. We were in trouble. We weren't really getting any money from YouTube, or much money from YouTube. I was probably getting paid this time last year. I was probably getting paid just enough from YouTube to pay my phone bill, like scrape it just about. I probably had to add a couple of quid to it to pay my phone bill. And New FIFA were paying my rent, and that was pretty much about it. I had no other money. Like, food wise, I was living on like tins of beans. Like, it was donations were paying for food. So when Team of the Season came around, reviews came out, and I started doing them, and they were really helping me out. We got up to like 250,000 views or whatever, and that saved me. If it wasn't for the reviews, if I didn't start reviews then, I wouldn't be here now. I would be currently in work wishing I was dead. So massive thank you to the people who watched those reviews, who continue to watch the reviews. And yeah, I was about a week or two away when it came to Team of the Season. At this point I was like, reassessing my life and having a look at things and thinking, well, shit, this isn't going to work. I've tried it for so long now that I'm not going to be able to sustain it much longer. And then team of the season, I was lucky. I was very lucky. Choose a country you would like to visit. Don't take one you already have visited. Okay, well, a country I'd like to visit that I've never been to before. I don't know. I think I've been everywhere I actually want to go. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Canada for no reason whatsoever. I don't have any reason to want to go there. And I would love in a way to visit Japan or like that type of like Tokyo, that type of place. But I'm too scared to go there. I am. I'd be too afraid of. I'm going to do a Con Air and land this on the highway. I'd just be too afraid to go there. Like, I don't know how well, the sort of the English is spoken out there. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know any Japanese. I'd just be too afraid to go there and get lost. There's so many people there. I don't know what crime rates are like, and I don't know. I'd be too afraid to go there. I've heard very, very, very bad things about Jamaica. My dad went to Jamaica and said it was one of the most intimidating places he's ever been, and he would never go there ever again. I've actually heard good things about Mexico. My brother went to Mexico on his honeymoon, and he said it was really, really nice, and the food was fantastic. So I wouldn't mind going to Mexico. But I don't know. I probably would pick Canada. To be honest, I've got no desire to. If you're Australian and watching this, I apologise. I have no desire to go to Australia. I don't do well under heat in the first place. Oh, but he wants to go to Mexico. I know. I don't do well under heat anyway. I can't stand the heat. I'm actually dreading summer here. I'm actually really glad that it's kind of threatening to rain right now. I love rain and wind, and well, maybe not wind so much, but yeah, I really like shit weather. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't really. I don't fancy it, iPhone or Samsung, and explain your opinion. I say Samsung. I used to have an iPhone. I've had both. I've had Samsungs, I've had iPhones, and I would probably pick the Samsung over the iPhone. And it's just ease of use with regards to things like putting music on your phone and stuff. With iPhone, you can't just drag and drop a music file on your phone. It might have changed now, but you couldn't when I had one. You had to put it into iTunes, and you had to sync up and do all that shit. Like, who has time for that? I just want to plug my phone in, drag the file over, let it go, bang, it's on the phone. Do you know? Like, what's wrong with doing that? So, yeah, Samsung. That's the only reason why. And for a while as well, Samsung phones and various like HTCs. In fact, HTCs are well ahead of the curve, or were well ahead of the curve with regards to size. When people were building the smallest phones possible, HTC decided that we haven't got time for that. We want to build the biggest phone possible. So they brought out what was called the HTC Touch HD, which was my second ever, sorry. My second ever touchscreen phone. The first one I had was it was a BlackBerry. What was it? BlackBerry Touch, I think it was called. Something shit like that. But the screen actually pulsed. The screen was like it moved. You could actually press the whole screen in. I actually quite liked that. Oh shit! I didn't realize I was that close. I actually really liked that. That was a good phone. But no, I'm HTC now. I've had HTCs for the last God knows how long. But yeah, there we go. Okay, I have to click show more on this. Jevsky, the ultimate friends quiz. There are 13 questions. Wait, 14 questions? You've got 12A and 12B. Okay, there's 7A, 7B. Okay, there's a lot of questions here. What is Monica's biggest pet peeve? Okay, hang on. According to Chandler, what phenomenon schizopaths are Monica and Ross had a grandmother? Okay, so you've literally just taken the quiz. I haven't read the rest of them though. Her actual favorite. Yeah, I think you've literally just taken the quiz that is from Friends. So this isn't actually knowledge. This is trying to remember the script essentially. I'm ready for this. I can do this. This isn't the way to quiz me on Friends knowledge, because when it comes to the script, I can read through an episode pretty much. everyone's lines. So when it comes to things like this, all I need to do is just play it out in my mind. So, here we go. What is Monica's biggest pet peeve? Animals dressed as humans. According to Chandler, what phenomenon scares the bejesus out of him? Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance. Monica and Ross had a grandmother who died. Joey and Chandler went to her funeral. Name that grandmother. Althea. Every week, the TV guide comes to Joey and Chandler's apartment. What name appears on the address label? It's Miss Chanandala Bong. What is the name of Chandler's father's Las Vegas all-male burlesque show? Viva Las Vegas. What was Monica's nickname when she was a field hockey goalie? Big Fat Goalie. Rachel claims this is her favourite movie, Dangerous Liaisons. Her actual favourite movie is Weekend at Bernie's. In what part of her body did Monica get a pencil stuck age 14? Her ear. Monica categorizes her towels. How many categories are there? 11. What is Joey's favourite food? Sandwiches. Chandler was how old when he first touched a girl's breast? 19. Joey had an imaginary childhood friend. What was his name? Maurice. And what was his profession? Space cowboy. And the final question. This is okay. What is Chandler Bing's job? This is always this changes. If you go through episodes, it changes to he does like data reconfiguration and statistical factoring, and then he calls it something else in another episode. What Rachel calls him a transponster. So yeah, his job is a data sort of basically a data entry clerk at the beginning, because he just inputs numbers and then it turns into statistical factor and stuff. So done. But that was just me remembering the script. I don't like if that wasn't in the script as a whole big question and answer section, I might have stuttered on some of them, but I just remember the script. Do I watch Arsenal Fan TV? Nope. Do you believe in a thing called love? Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. Okay, another Friends quiz here from Amir. Read more. Who gives bad massages? That would be Monica. Emily's last name is Waltham. Joey's shoe size, 7. Can't believe that. 7, bearing in mind that the US shoe size is actually 1 above us. So he actually has size 6 feet, I believe. True or false? Emily met Ursula in an episode. Emily isn't in too many episodes, and Ursula is in even less. Ursula is in like 6 max episodes, as far as I am aware. I don't think they would ever have met. So Emily, first night, it's all to do with Joshua. Doesn't meet there. They go to Vermont. Doesn't meet there. Come back. David Bowie in the bed with the earring. No. In London, obviously not. She comes airport. No. Going away party for Emily. Ursula's not there. I'm going to say no. It's an interesting question, but I don't think so. I probably got it wrong. They probably meet some point, like really random periods. I mean, technically, yes, because Phoebe is Ursula, but no, because no. What Twitter chat member would you kiss, kick in the genitals, give all your possessions to, marry your mother, and then take on holiday? There aren't that many people in the chat, so we'll skip the kiss. Kick in the genitals would be Luke. Give all your possessions to would be JR, because I feel like he's from the north and he needs it. Let marry your mother would be Amir, because he seems very attentive. And then take on holiday would have to be Jevsky, because he's been everywhere and he knows the best place to get cheap beer. Not that I drink that, but still. I say cheap beer, he always pays like 2-3 quid, 4, 5, 6 quid a pint. But either way, yeah, so there we have it. I'm going to not read that question because it's just not a question, it's just AIDS. That one is Amir's GCSE results. Maths A, English C, Irish A, Engineering A, Biology C, and Construction, spelt wrong, B. Constriction, confined spaces. Thoughts on the Panthers pleading guilty for illegal gambling via Foot Galaxy? I don't know the ins and outs of it. I actually said to myself that this episode of the LGS, I'm actually going to look at Team of the Week while I do this because it's just gone 3 o'clock for me. Nainggolan, I got it right. Kane, I got it right. Lewandowski, I got it right. Idrissa Gueye, I got it right. Depay, I got it right. Fabregas, I got right. Van Aanholt, I got right. Alexandro, I got right. That is 9 players so far. Tunstra, finally, I got it right. All the Silvers I got right. That's 14. Keita again? Really? Okay, so I got 14 right. I actually looked at Sausetta and I said to myself, nah, you won't get one. So I got 14 of the 23 correct. That's not great. Verratti doesn't deserve it. Oh, that's such a shit Team of the Week for reviews. There's only 1, 2. There's only 2 affordable Premier League players in that entire Team of the Week to review. Great. So yeah, I don't know the ins and outs of. Oh shit! I don't know the ins and outs of the whole thing, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I can't actually give a justified opinion on. I can't give a valid opinion because I don't know the ins and outs of it, right? From what we've read, heard, and what he has told us, let's be honest, he didn't have a choice but to plead guilty. Had he not pleaded guilty and they found him guilty, he probably would have had to have served time, albeit a couple of months, but still, time in prison is not pleasant, let's be honest. You don't want to be there. Unless you've been there all your life and you don't know any different and you want to be there because you're weird. But, you know, generally you're not going to want to be there, okay? So pleading guilty makes sense as far as he's concerned. Because, I mean, ultimately, he was guilty, whether he meant to, you know, whether he meant it or not, or whether he knew he was breaking a law or not. He was still guilty of the crime, shall we say. I mean, he had to pay back a shit ton of money. I think it was like £91,000 altogether. Not that I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a shit ton of money, but I don't think that was too much of a price. He's probably already paid it back. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have. That's it. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, he was guilty of it, whether he wanted to be, whether he knew he was or not. Fuck off. Guilty of it, whether he knew about it or not at the time, and he's paid the price, learned his lesson, and moved on from it. And you know, more power to him, I guess. I mean, if I was in his situation, I would have pleaded guilty as well. Not to plead guilty would have been stupid, even if in his mind he's still innocent, which obviously he isn't by law. But I mean, has he really done that? Did he really do anything wrong? Ultimately, what they've got him on is not having a gambling license, essentially, because whereas people were gambling underage, essentially, and that's probably one of the other reason that they've got him on. You know, places like Ladbrokes and stuff like that are guilty of that as well. I mean, I was gambling on Ladbrokes when I was 16, so 2 years below the age I was allowed to. Never got caught for it, and Ladbrokes never had to deal with the consequences of it because they didn't know about it. So, with regards to people gambling underage, there's only so much you can do. So, they basically, in my opinion, had him for just not having a gambling license, essentially. So, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. He wasn't encouraging people to go there. You know, if you want to go there, you go there. But you're your own person. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You know, he wasn't forcing people with a gun to their head saying, go and gamble on this website, you know. Amir still uses the website, by the way. So the website is still up anywhere outside of the UK. Proxy server. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Done and dusted. Kippers and custard. Doesn't really work without a really strong Welsh accent, that, but still. Done and dusted. Kippered and custard. Favourite minigame in Takeshi's Castle? I don't actually watch that much. I don't even think it's still on, is it? But when Takeshi's Castle was at the height of the whole thing. I can't remember what I had. What was my favourite thing to watch? My cat has literally face planted the duvet, and he's just there with his face in the duvet. Can't see his face. He's not dead, don't worry, he's not dead. He's still breathing. I don't know, actually. I used to like the... Two of them I used to like. The one with the maze, and there was doors everywhere. It's kind of like a base in Rust. You had to walk through the door and try and make it to the end. But there was a guy in there who used to like grab you and put his hand on your face, and he had like black tar on his hand or something. But fuck off. What a song. I thought it was this when it came on. I was like, nah, this isn't on the thing. We need to get away and listen to this bad boy. My fire, no one desire. What? The maze mini game was awesome, and then the one where they had to walk across like a really thin bridge, and they had like cannonballs fired at them. That was kind of cool. There's loads. I used to like pretty much all of them, to be honest. Apart every to your heart. And then Jordan Shields talks about how shit the In-Betweeners USA and Skins is as well, but The Office is done right and I should watch it. Tell me why I should watch The Office USA. I probably won't ever watch it. Honestly, I love Steve Carell, and some of the actors in there are actually really good, and I do like their work, but I probably won't ever get around to watching it unless I'm like retired at the age of 37. That's the plan. It's not, but yeah. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? Jesus! I mean, he did a better job than any of the police have just managed to do, to be fair to him, so you can't take that away from him. I need a haircut desperately. The state of that. Tell me why ain't nothing but... I love Backstreet Boys. Do they update the music on GTA? I feel like they update the music quite regularly on GTA. I'm stuck in a fucking tree. Get out of the tree. You probably can't even hear the music. I'm probably singing and no one can hear it. Yeah. No matter the distance, I want you to know. Oh no, we got out of the car. Deep down inside of me. Come on, get in. You are the one. I'm not even moving forward anymore. It's just the car moving back and forth. Surely we should be stuck now, shouldn't we? No, we would have been stuck in real life. I'm sorry, but we were wedged there. This is my dream, right? To park on a beach, nice, like calmish sea, listening to the Backstreet Boys, ending a video. Thank you very much for watching and being back on the LGS. If you have any questions, whether they be ridiculously personal, trying to catch me out with a friend's question, which you will never do, or whatever, leave them in the comment section of this video. I will be back yet again next week with another episode of the LGS. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, goodbye.